Good morning and welcome to Living Local 15. I'm your host, Jessica Williams. It's time to grab a cup of joe and enjoy the show. First up, the Better Business Bureau and SCORE of Northern Indiana is here to tell us all about their upcoming business conference and torch awards. Then it's time for this week's Medicare Because We Care, breaking down Medicare enrollment and how it works. And later, we share top tested products from our Best Reviews YouTube studio. That and more happening now.
Fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
This segment sponsored by the Better Business Bureau. This powerful business conference is back for another year. That's the Build a Better Business Conference and the Torch Awards for Ethics, presented by the Better Business Bureau and SCORE. And joining me to share more about it is Rick Walls, who is the President and CEO of the Better Business Bureau, Northern Indiana, and Andrew Roberts, the co-chair of SCORE, Northern Indiana. Hello, good morning.
Great to be here with you, Jessica.
You as well, welcome. Okay, so now is the time that you get to come together and celebrate the businesses who have really shown so much improvement and impressiveness, right, over the last year.
Indeed, yeah. Jessica, this is the third year that we have partnered with SCORE to put on this great event. And it's a day that starts early in the morning, registration at 7:15, followed by a breakfast, and then we're going to start the celebration off this year with our Torch Award celebration for ethics. Mayor Sharon Tucker will be our keynote address, nice. And we'll be celebrating the 5 businesses and individuals that are this year's recipients. So, the Better Business Bureau is kind of well known for some of the less glamorous things like scam education and complaint resolution and things like that. But this is the one event that we have every year that we really look forward to, where we get to recognize people for something very positive.
Right.
So it's those that have demonstrated just great ethical standards in the way they operate their business, conduct themselves, give back to their communities. So it's a great event for us. This year we have over 100 nominations from our 23 county service area, and we had an independent panel of judges that consolidated that 100 down to 5 winners. So we'll have 3 winners in the business category, and we have 1 charity of integrity, and we also have our individual of integrity.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay, we have to leave that as a little tease. A little later, you'll share with us who the winners are.
I will.
All right, that's awesome. Okay, so I have to say, the past 2 years I have attended this awards, and what I really enjoyed about it is just the pride and the humility at the same time that the businesses have when they're receiving this award, because it takes a lot to run a business and to run it with integrity and to have your community and other colleagues and business professionals acknowledge that. It's something that's really powerful.
It really is, and that's why we make such a big deal out of it, because a lot of business operating out there doing a great job, but these nominations came from their staff, from customers, from other third parties that nominated them. And again, they some of them weren't even aware that they were nominated until they were asked to provide input on it. Some of the folks that we spoke to at the event last year and after, one was a new entrepreneur, and her comment was that was so inspiring for her to come and see how professional business owners conducted themselves, how they've elevated themselves in their business, and it was just very inspiring for her.
Yeah, that's so true. Inspiring others through making the example themselves. And so, Andrew, I want to bring you in because SCORE is presenting this conference alongside the Better Business Bureau. So talk to me about how you all are being represented and what you bring to this.
So this is the 3rd year we've been doing it. We've been partnering and sponsoring this conference. SCORE, like the Better Business Bureau, is one of the many organizations available now that helps support the small business community, which is why it's made perfect sense for us to kind of partner so that we could reach a broader audience.
Yeah.
But SCORE itself, we are an organization that's been around since 1964. So we just celebrated 60 years of existence. But despite being around for that long, not too many people know about us, or we don't have the same name recognition that the Better Business Bureau does, or some of the other organizations. So this is also a way to get our name out there, to get other people looking to start or grow their business to know that we're also available to help them.
So talk to me specifically about some of the services that you offer, because like you said, it's not a recognizable, name at the beginning, but it's starting to get there. So what services can businesses use you for?
So we help small businesses and entrepreneurs in two ways, through mentoring and education.
Okay.
So the education, we provide many different workshops that are available to attend online or in person, and a lot of them are recorded, so even if you can't make it at the time, you can always go back online and look at them later. And then the mentoring. So we provide one-on-one mentoring with anyone, and it's completely free, so we'll meet with you as many times as you need, and we don't charge a dime for it.
Wow.
It's really a great service. I wish I had known about SCORE when I was starting my business.
Right.
But just last year alone, SCORE helped form over 31,000 new businesses, employing 150,000 employees. So we really do have quite an impact on the small business community.
That's really great. And of course, Rick, the Better Business Bureau has been around for a long time. It's one of the top accredited companies that accredit businesses and really just hold businesses accountable. And I feel that it's both for the consumer and also for the business. And so is there anything that you think maybe people don't know that the BBB does?
Well, I guess there's a couple things, but you're spot on in that we are kind of a liaison maybe between consumers and business. We exist to try to help connect consumers with reputable businesses. So the BBB's been around since 1912. Our office actually started in 1920, so we're one of the oldest BBBs. But so, like I said, we've been around for a long time, and then this recent partnership with SCORE, this evolved after the COVID shutdown of the early 20s, and we wanted to make our event even bigger. So SCORE's been a great partner with us because they have a lot of the contacts in the business community. So like we talked about the Torch Awards, the second part of our Build a Better Business conference is the educational sessions that we put on for business owners.
Right.
So we've collaborated with SCORE on putting this together. So again, this has been a great collaboration because we know the right people to bring in and these were the sessions that were voted on by people that attended last year and the folks that registered for this year. This is what people want to learn about.
Well, listen, I love that you provide a variety of topics and people can go to each session during the conference. Okay, but now we have to get to the moment we've been waiting for. We're going to have the special announcement. These are the winners for this year 2024 Torch Awards.
Yeah, like I said, over 100 nominations. So these are 5 distinguished businesses and individuals. So in our 3 Business of Integrity categories, our winners this year are Summers Plumbing and Heating of Fort Wayne, New Leaf Recreation, also of Fort Wayne, and Windows, Doors, and More, who also happens to be a Fort Wayne company.
Yes.
Now, our nominations come from all over our 23 county service area. It's unusual this year that all 3 of the business winners came from Fort Wayne, but that's just the way the chips fell.
Fort Wayne is rocking it.
Yeah. And then our nonprofit of integrity this year is Notre Dame Federal Credit Union from South Bend, just a great organization. They've been in business since 1941. They've been BBB accredited since 1986. Great organization. And then I think you'll probably recall from last year, we renamed our Individual of Integrity the Jay Leonard Individual of Integrity Award in recognition of Jay Leonard that passed away a couple years ago. So this year, the Jay Leonard Individual of Integrity Award will be presented posthumously to Mayor Tom Henry. And so we think it's just a fitting tribute to a gentleman that did so much for our community for so many years.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, thank you so much for that exclusive there. And it was so great to see you both and to learn about this conference.
Thank
for
you
having
very
us.
much,
You're
Jessica. We appreciate it.
And the conference and awards will take place on November 15th at Parkview Mural Center. We'll have information below on how to attend and also information and websites for these two wonderful organizations. And I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by the Better Business Bureau.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group.
This segment sponsored by Kevin McIntyre, a licensed insurance agent with Health Markets Insurance Agency. Welcome back to our Medicare series, where each week we'll provide you with important information about Medicare. And you can actually submit your questions at the email listed below, and they will go to Kevin McIntyre, who is a licensed insurance agent at Health Markets Insurance Agency. Hello, Kevin.
Hello, Jessica.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yes, and we are outside on this beautiful patio at your
Yes.
business.
Beautiful day today.
Beautiful day and ambiance to discuss this important information.
Yeah.
And so last week we teased about it. Today we're going to talk about the actual enrollment period.
Yes.
So can you expound upon Medicare enrollment periods?
Absolutely. I'd love to. It's a really important topic. People need to know when they're eligible to enroll. And there are two main enrollment periods that people need to know about. First are the annual enrollment periods, so the ones that come around every year, and then initial enrollment periods, which only happen one time. So the first time somebody is eligible for Medicare, it's called their initial enrollment period, or IEP, and they're eligible to enroll into Medicare. That window is 3 months prior to the month they turn 65. It includes the month they turn 65, and then 3 months after the month they turn 65. So altogether, it's a 7-month initial enrollment period window where somebody can enroll in Medicare. Now, keep in mind that if you are already receiving Social Security benefits when you turn 65, you will automatically be enrolled into Medicare Parts A and B. You don't have to do anything. You will receive your card in the mail.
Okay.
If you're not taking Social Security benefits at that time, you will need to manually enroll. And you can do that either through the Social Security's website, or you can visit a local branch or call Social Security to get that done.
Okay.
Now, in reference to when benefits begin, with Medicare, benefits always begin on the first of the month. So one of the questions I get is, do my benefits start on the day I turn 65, or when do they start? Well, for example, let's say your birthday was November 20th, okay? Your Medicare benefits would actually begin on the first day of the month you turn 65. So your benefits would begin November 1st. The only exception to that rule is if your birthday actually falls on the first day of the month. So if your birthday is on November 1st, they actually give you the whole month prior.
Oh.
And so your benefits would begin on October 1st. So again, the benefits begin usually on the first day of the month you turn 65, unless your birthday is on the 1st, then you get the month previous to that. And again, as we talked about last week, if you have a special enrollment period due to loss of group coverage, your benefits will also begin on the first of the month. So it's really important to make sure that your group benefits line up with the start of Medicare so that you don't have any coverage gaps.
Okay. So Kevin, last week we talked about penalties.
Yeah.
And so is this where potential penalties come in play if someone misses that initial enrollment period?
Yes, so there's the potential of those two penalties that we talked about, right? So if somebody misses their initial enrollment period and they don't have creditable coverage, they could incur that 10% per year Part B penalty. Okay. Now, if somebody is not enrolled in Part B and they miss that initial enrollment period for that, there is something called a general enrollment period for Part B. That runs January through March every year, and somebody can enroll into Part B during that time. And then what that does is that stops those penalties and enrolls them into Part B. So if they don't have it, the general enrollment period is when they can hop on. And then similarly, if somebody doesn't have creditable drug coverage, again, the Part D penalty of 1% per month could also come into play. So again, really important to know your enrollment periods.
Yeah, absolutely. So earlier you talked about annual enrollment periods. Can you explain what those are?
Yes, so there are a couple of annual enrollment periods. The most recognizable one is aptly named the annual enrollment period, and this is a time when anybody that's enrolled in Medicare can evaluate their plan and see if they want to stay on that plan or change to a different plan for the next year. The annual enrollment period runs October 15th through December 7th each year, and things can get pretty hectic with TV commercials and emails and mailing. So it's really important for all Medicare beneficiaries to evaluate the plan they have and see if they want to stay on that plan for the next year. There's a lesser known annual enrollment period called the Medicare Advantage open enrollment period. And this allows anybody who's currently on a Medicare Advantage plan specifically to make a one-time change if they want to a different Medicare Advantage plan, or they can also use that enrollment period to go back to original Medicare and a prescription drug plan. So lots to think about.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Kevin, that was really great information. I mean, I'm really starting to see why it's so important to have someone knowledgeable like yourself breaking down these topics, and making it very clear and keeping us straight on what Medicare is.
Yeah.
So what can we look forward to in the upcoming segments?
Next week, I think we'll talk about the different types of plan options. So things like Medicare Advantage, prescription drug plans, Medigap plans, things like that. And also, as a reminder, if anybody that's watching does have a specific question they'd like to ask me, they're free to email me at the address on the screen. I will get back to them personally, but also may answer their question on one of our upcoming episodes here.
They may get selected.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Kevin.
You're welcome.
And if you would like more information about Health Markets Insurance Agency, we'll have their website listed below and Kevin's email address listed below, and I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Kevin McIntyre, a licensed insurance agent with Health Markets Insurance Agency.
When looking for the right products, many of us search the internet looking for videos to help make us make the right choice purchasing. Well, look no further, Best Reviews has us covered.
Joining us now with a look at some of the top products from their YouTube studio is Senior Director of Content Operations from BestReviews.com, Jacob Palmer. Jacob, always so good to see you.
I wanted to kind of take some time today to go over all of the great work we're doing in the testing lab, because we really like to get down to the nitty-gritty of it and give people those very distinct pieces of information they need before they spend their hard money.
Absolutely. Tell us about the YouTube studio.
We are looking in depth at all of these different items. We want to know, is it going to make your life better? Is it going to be worth spending your money? When you use it in your home, is it going to make your pets go crazy? These are the kinds of things that we're more interested in.
Yes, so you guys test it, and then you can trust that when you get it, it's going to be a good product, right? So let's go through some of the stuff you have for us today, starting here. What have we got here?
So earlier this year, we did our whole cookware sets deep dive, and we did a ton of cookware sets. We did Dutch ovens, we did cast irons. What we have on the table here are two of our favorites. The one in the back there with the white top, that's from Caraway, and that's going to be a great option for those that are looking for more of that trendier ceramic style. And then the one in the foreground, that's from Viking, which is a little bit more traditional, stainless steel. And what we took away from this is the ceramic looks great, number one. It's going to be nice on your tabletop, but the stainless steel is going to be a little bit more effective.
Well, these are pretty. I also love that they're aesthetically pleasing when they're going to be out on the cooktop. But let's move into some technology, because you know everyone loves their technology, especially when it comes to headphones. There are so many different options out there.
And again, it's one of these things that people want to make sure, you're spending a few $100s on these things, and it really matters that you don't waste your money when you're doing that. And so we have a couple on the table here today that came out of our testing process for headphones that were really interesting, and we wanted to pull them out because everybody knows about Apple. It's not as fun to talk about that, but for the people that want the absolute best performance and don't care about the packaging like that Apple provides, these were our favorites. One comes from Beats, and that's the black pair that you see on your screen right now. Obviously a super big brand name, but it has all of the features that the audiophile demands, especially when you're looking at this style of headphones that goes over your ears and is going to be perfect for traveling. They're great, but our actual favorite here from the testing lab that our testers came back and said, these are the ones that you guys need to be talking about all the time, come to us from Sennheiser, and these are the Momentum Phantom variety, super comfortable and have an incredible sound experience. And I think, you know, they're the ones that when you talk about the name brands that people might not recognize, Sennheiser absolutely stands out as standing at the best place for performance, but maybe people don't know about them and we can educate them about it.
Yeah, which is nice because you don't want to always buy the one everyone else has too, right? And once you go noise canceling, you're never going back.
There's also the contrarian out there that wants to have something that's a little bit different, and we are there for them.
Right, perfect, but still works great. Let's talk about watches. We've been talking about this a little bit lately, and gift season is almost coming up, so I feel like these would be perfect for people.
That's a great point. That, you know, people want to be able to buy something really nice for somebody, and these two watches that we have on the table are perfect. The one that's black is the Garmin, and that's going to be perfect for that person who loves to hike. They want to get out in the outdoors. You know, maybe it should come with a bag of granola as well, if you catch my drift. And the other is the Samsung Galaxy Watch. And what's great about these is if they're already invested into a Samsung Galaxy phone, the pairing of it is super seamless and it works great. It's kind of that great best bang for the buck, which is another one is as we go through these testing processes and then tell people on our YouTubes, we'll tell you it's got an 8 out of 10 for connectivity. It's also going to be your best bang for the buck. This is your best value pick. So it's a great option in terms of all of those things. So you want to check out our YouTube channel to be able to find, like, okay, I'm considering these two. How do they compare against each other? We're always trying to get down to that absolute decision point.
I love that you're doing the homework for us.
All right, Jacob, these all seem so great. Thank you so much for coming in again. Best Reviews is owned by our parent company, that is Nexstar. For more on these products and more, head to bestreviews.com or scan the QR code on your screen.
Best Reviews is owned by our parent company, Nexstar. You can find more on the products and where to buy them on WANE.com. Well, that's our show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, you can always catch up on episodes and segments of Living Local 15 by going to WANE.com, downloading the WANE app, and also checking us out on YouTube. And I'll leave you with this. It's never too late to live your best life, so start living it today. And I look forward to seeing you here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Content segments during today's Living Local 15 were paid for by these sponsors.